interesting stuff. Well, just finally today on the programme, a major conference is taking place in London next week, focusing on how the United Kingdom can become a real scientific superpower. The UK is already home to world-leading innovation in life sciences, energy, future transport and even space. Yet the question remains, how can we fully unlock the country's innovation potential and unleash a global Britain? Well, I'm delighted to be joined in the studio by Matt Allen, the director of Bidwells, who are organising the conference. Welcome to the programme. I suppose, first of all, what is a science superpower? How can Britain become one?
Well, Tom, I mean, if you look at UK, we're very, very good at creating world-changing ideas. And we've got researchers who are solving some of the problems of the biggest global challenges. But I think within the Oxford-Cambridge arc, we have the potential to accelerate that and become a scientific superpower. But what we're not good at in the UK is taking those ideas, commercialising them, creating new industries and world-leading businesses on the back of that. We want to try and change that. So we're bringing people together at the QE2 on Monday. We've got 500 people coming from the biggest global investors, from developers, innovators and academics, coming together to talk about the policies, to talk about the infrastructure needed and the government support that will help accelerate this sector. The private sector is there. It's ready to unleash the potential of global Britain as a scientific superpower. We need government to back us, to help us unlock that and do what it said it's been wanting to do for a while in terms of creating scientific superpower. The time now is for action.
I suppose it's really key here to deliver growth and innovation and the rest of it. You need the infrastructure to do it. It's very well having places in the United Kingdom like Cambridge that have world-leading research, but they're quite small on the international scale of things. Cambridge is, a city of 150 million people. I suppose when it comes to delivering greater growth in that area, but growth that 150,000, I should say, not 150 million. When it comes to delivering greater growth, I mean, it would be an incredibly growth area if it had 150 million people in it. Not that that's being suggested by anyone, but how does that infrastructure, how can infrastructure deliver growth and work as well with the private sector?
I think there's a few things to say there, Tom. You know, if you look at the potential for Oxford and Cambridge ecosystems and what they can do for the broader country in terms of how they can support the economy nationally, how they can support parts of the country that need levelling up, but they're not getting that support at the moment. If you look at Oxford University R&D, for example, for every £1 invested in that, £10 is generated across the wider economy. And businesses like AstraZeneca, where you have 2,500 scientists in Cambridge, create 50,000 direct and indirect jobs across the country. But we're in a situation now where we've got the Treasury investing £1 billion into a railway system to connect that up, but it's only half built. And who wants a half-built railway? We've also got the problem in Oxford and Cambridge at the moment, where there is zero available lab space. And we've got 1 million square foot of demand from global scientific businesses, spin-outs, and grow-on businesses from those ecosystems. So there's a big, big problem that needs to be solved.
It's interesting, though, because when you talk to the government, they're often talking about levelling up. And those conversations can leave out places that are genuine drivers of growth, places that can actually help the rest of the country by growing as well. Is there a disconnect here between the sort of scientific community and indeed those who want to see greater innovation, development and growth out of the areas that we have and the government that, frankly, would rather talk about other areas?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at it, the Oxford and the Levelling Up programme is a very valid programme for the country, but it can't be delivered at the expense of our world-leading scientific ecosystems. So if you look at Oxford and Cambridge ARC particularly, failure to support that from the government would result in a loss of 50 billion GDP by 2030. That money could be used to invest in bankrolling Levelling Up and also to repair the country's economy following COVID.
Now, just to explore the ARC for a second, a lot of people will be hearing it for the first time, won't know exactly what it is. We only have a small amount of time at the end of the programme, but just your elevator pitch. Why is the ARC important?
The ARC is important. It is there. It is probably the biggest global brand we have in science and technology. We can create things across the rest of the UK, but they would take years and years and years to deliver. The ARC is there, it's oven ready, and it can really deliver for the country.
Really, really interesting stuff there, trying to connect up these two areas of great innovation potential. Well, we're at the end of the programme, but I'm really delighted that you've been able to come in and talk about these issues, really important for growth in the UK. And I suppose we'll see you on Monday at your conference. Thank you very much for joining us here on The Briefing. That's it for the show today.